Ted, do you remember how to do this?
Welcome to Downtime in the Apocalypse, where Ted talks and Kevin listens. I'm Ted.
And I'm Kevin.
Now, people, it's been a while. A lot has changed. Less than you'd think, more than you'd think. I don't know. I'm married now. Kevin and I live together along with my wife. That's basically it.
Yeah, we all share the same bunker, so it's fine.
Yep. Now it's official. All the clones are kind of annoying, not going to lie.
Well, I gotta say, if we didn't have the clones, then I think we wouldn't also have water. So, can you give it that?
Okay, hear me out, though. I thought my wife was going to be the problem in the bathroom.
Not
Not the fact there are 25 of you.
I'm sorry they all have their individual digestive tracts and everything, Ted, but that's how clones work. If I wanted to go automatons, I could have gone automatons, but you said clones was a better idea.
No, I said you should human centipede it.
Yeah, no. Have you ever seen that movie?
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm going to drink more now.
Yeah, that's about right. I saw the sequel as well. Did you see the sequel?
No.
Okay, just to give me like just a blind guess. What do you think the sequel is going to be about?
More people, same plot.
No. So here's what the sequel was. The sequel is like there's this dude who has mental issues, and the movie is not real. He thinks it's real, and he tries to recreate the movie, and it's all shot in like black and white, and it's very stupid.
Okay. Now, for the record, a different movie could have probably done that in a more interesting way.
Oh, definitely, but this is the maker of Human Centipede.
Yeah, I think there's a movie Behind the Mask.
Okay, I think I've heard of that.
Yeah,
I haven't
it's
seen
a
it.
horror movie about a guy who's trying to be a horror, like, slasher murderer. It's a office-style documentary about him.
Oh, okay, that's pretty cool.
And it explains, like, the tropes and everything and how he's trying to actively do them.
That's a pretty cool idea. All right.
Yeah.
I think I saw a Japanese film that was like or Korean, I forget which one, but they were doing like a zombie movie, and then the zombie movie turned out to be like real, and it's not real, and it's real. Like it's like this weird mix of the two. But yeah, I like that idea. That sounds pretty fun. But Ted, speaking of movies,
So, we watched, I'm going to get this slightly wrong. Is it Deadpool and Wolverine? Deadpool 3 and Wolverine?
well, Ted, that's why we have this wonderful invention here. Let's see. Ba-ba-da.
Okay, so just letting you know, Kevin seems to be using Firefox.
Well, first off, this is Bing.
Oh, even
So,
worse. So much worse.
okay, so now we have our answers. So you're welcome. But
Deadpool and Wolverine. Okay.
Yeah. Would you prefer it if it was called Deadpool and Wolverine's Corpse?
Yeah.
I would prefer that as well. Yeah. I think that would be a more apt title.
So, spoiler alert right now. We're going to give our non-spoiler review of the movie.
Yes, while we're drinking some, is this like a combination of like mead and...
Hard cider, yes. Deadpool and Wolverine, mead and hard cider.
And you know what? Werebear.
Yeah, excellent branding. Not sure how I feel about the taste, to be honest.
I know you're hoping for it to be a little bit sweeter, but I don't mind like a milder taste to this.
Well, it's not mild, though. I mean, it's got a lot of spices at the back.
Yeah.
Ironically enough, it's spiced squash.
Okay. You know what? I can dig a spice squash.
Yeah. Well, either way, so we're doing a combo. But this movie, describe it in 5 words or less.
Ooh, okay. A completely unlikable cash grab.
Try to be clever, failed.
Okay, yeah, that sums up our feelings on the movie. But let's go through it. Why do we feel this way? What's the plot? What's the whole idea here? I'm sure everyone has seen this movie already. It's made millions and millions of dollars, and probably billions of dollars.
I think at time of record, it is the 10th highest grossing movie.
That's depressing.
Yes, it is.
Well, okay, but I mean, the top grossing movies of all time are things like Titanic, Avatar, and I don't particularly like Avatar or some of those other movies.
I agree, but I still think Avatar has more merit than this.
I
would rather watch, if I had to watch one of them right now...
I'd rather just watch Dances with Wolves, though.
Yeah, but I'm okay with Dances with Wolves in space.
I guess.
Let's try to stay on topic.
Yeah, let's stay on topic.
So, Kevin, what's your favorite superhero movie?
the original Tim Burton Batman.
Okay, well, he's wrong.
Okay, please educate me.
It's not even the best movie in that series, but
I disagree.
I know that's why you're wrong. Anyways,
Whatever.
the best superhero movie is, in my opinion, Logan. And I do believe it should have been the last superhero movie made for about 20 years.
Now, I heavily disagree on that, but I think Logan is a very good movie. I will not disagree with that whatsoever, but if it was the final superhero movie to ever come out, or to come out for, I don't know, next, like, let's give it like 20 years. 20 years comes pass by, and then whole brand new wave of superhero movies comes out there. I still think you would not get like a lot of really great superhero movies that have come out since Logan.
I would argue there haven't been any great superhero movies since Logan.
I think Avengers.
Not great.
And okay, Infinity War.
Not great.
Okay, so yeah, I disagree on that.
Oh.
I think Infinity War is one of the best superhero movies ever made.
Oh,
Not topping my Tim Burton Batman.
I'm not sure I like it more than Deadpool and Wolverine.
Well, we could get into that.
Well, let's
focus on yeah.
So, anyways, it starts with literally my favorite superhero movie being desecrated.
So okay, let's go back in time a little bit here, right? Logan, what happened at the end of Logan?
Logan, old man,
Yep,
dying his own adamantium, adamite, whatever the metal is, vibranium, whatever. The fuck
adamantium. Yeah, adamantium.
Yeah, unobtainium.
To bring it back to Avatar.
Skeleton is being rejected by his owner, a healing factor.
Yes.
He is dying, and he sacrifices himself in a beautiful moment in order to make the world safe for not only his semi-clone, semi-surrogate daughter, but mutant kind in general for another generation. In a way, it's supposed to symbolize that Wolverine era is done.
He's dead, people.
But he died so that the world wouldn't need him anymore. There's actually a genre called post-Western that's very similar to this in general. You can make a very real argument that Logan is a post-Western movie.
Yeah, I mean, yes, definitely, especially since set in like Mexico, kind of going up for that, and like and you choosing "Hurt" as like some like the music there. Mm-hmm. There's like a lot of Western themes going throughout the movie.
Yes, and later Western movies did have a lot about, the man killing the final outlaw and then not having a space in society anymore, but being happy about that because he's made the world a better place.
Right, and through not needing him, the world can evolve and grow and change and become better and more safe and blah 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 blah. But how does Deadpool fit into that there?
Well, first off, he's digging him up. And there's an overview because Deadpool knows he's in a movie.
Of course he does, because it's Deadpool.
And he even mentions how, I bet you're wondering how we're going to honor the memory of Logan and his sacrifice. Well, we're not.
No, we're going to just, dig up his corpse and then stab people in the balls with his skeleton, basically.
Yes, to a NSYNC song?
NSYNC, yeah.
And
bye.
Can I say, if it went on for 30 seconds, it might have been an okay bit.
But it goes on for a very long time. Very, 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 very long time. And it's also got, like a few things in it. So, the dance itself, it's just Deadpool. And I'm sure like tons of people have seen this already, but him doing like the, like a little NSYNC dance. And then that's being cut in with him like brutally murdering those TVA guys, which is a whole nother issue with the movie.
We'll talk about that in just a second.
Yeah. But, and then him kind of going over, him saying, well, Logan's dead. I really wanted to do a movie with Logan this whole entire time. I got to do a movie with Logan. Let's dig up his corpse. Oh, God, he's still dead. Well, going to use the skeleton to kill all these dudes, I guess.
Yes, and now I'm going to say this. There is a kind of way to make this into a serious scene.
Yeah.
And it would have been him kind of somberly and, like, cursing himself, like, please. Healing factor doesn't work like that. Let him be. And then as, he's being charged, saying, "I'm sorry, sir," and picking up the claws and using them.
Mm, definitely could have done that.
He
But
didn't.
no, he didn't.
And this is the only time I will bring up any part of this movie that could have made Reverend. Because that's not what you're here for. You didn't
No,
see...
it sets the tone with it.
Yeah. Now, then it explains the reason that this is happening. So, congratulations, the universe they're in is ending. Because...
Which is also the Fox universe.
Yes. The Fox universe is ending.
It's dying. It's dead.
Because Logan is gone. And apparently, some universes have cosmic anchors, which are individuals that when they die, so does the universe.
And this is not like an instant thing. This
Yeah.
is more like over time, slowly dead. Which is like, an allegory for Fox itself. After the Logan movie, slowly dying out and then getting bought up by Disney.
Now, so we have, what are they called? The SCP Foundation?
Oh, no, it's the TVA.
The SCP. Anyways, the SCP.
I mean, basically, yeah.
Their
SCP would be much cooler.
It would
than
have been
this.
much cooler. Their job is to oversee this dying universe and all dying universes and protect the multiverse. Now, Kevin,
Yes.
oversee from what?
Okay. So, okay. The TVA is a separate. It's hard to explain because I didn't watch that much of Loki.
I'm not. No outside knowledge. What are they Why are they overseeing this universe?
They're overseeing this universe because there are branches with different universes there that they sometimes, they used to clip in order to keep this timeline like pure. So the pure timeline is the timeline they care about the most, and that was set up by Kang and a bunch of other kind of crap. And they're trimming these other ones, or like overseeing them to make sure that they end out as they should.
Now, here's the question. One, that made no sense to me. Number two,
Right.
What happens if they don't oversee this timeline?
Um,
Because it's never explained.
no, it's never explained, and here's the problem with this all. So there's a lot of problems.
Yeah,
right?
but please answer the question.
Okay. There are some instances where people cross over to different timelines and they create disturbances or interferences with that timeline, which can lead to imploding things with like the main timeline if things cross over.
Okay, so
yeah.
it is actually a danger.
There is. If there's incursions are like if somebody comes in and then just like goes through different like timelines and just messes around.
All right, so there is a reason. Okay, that's actually a point in the movie's favor.
They don't explain that, but
yeah, they don't explain that, so I didn't know that.
And the movie would say, and whoever's writing the movie or whatever's going on with the movie would say that, well, I mean, that's your fault for not watching Loki, not watching all this extra other stuff that may not be even good.
I think you're assuming any amount of thought, but let's get back to it.
Yeah.
So, Deadpool is kidnapped from his shitty life. His life's gone downhill. We're not going to get into it, but because that's another tangent.
Yeah. I mean, yeah.
And his life just sucks. He's single, works as a car salesman.
Yep. And he's got a wig.
And he's offered a chance to actually be a hero because
he got denied by the Avengers.
And the something else.
I mean, that was the main thing of it. He went to the true timeline. He tried to apply to be like an Avenger, and they rejected him. And this is all if you watch Deadpool 1, Deadpool 2, then Deadpool 2 specifically goes more into like how he's able to get into there, like via like Cable's time machine thing, all that stuff, blah, 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 blah. But main thrust of it is that he's in a low point in his life right now.
So he gets kidnapped by the SCP Foundation and is offered a chance to save a timeline or seven, and
say like be useful in the main timeline.
Yes, and then he finds out that his timeline's doomed because Logan's not there, and rather than do their job and watch the timeline fade, they're going to blow it up instead.
To save time, Ted, which is a weird concept when you control time.
Yes. Also, here's my. Or get to it later. Let's
not get bogged down in these nitty gritty.
Let's get through the movie and then we can talk about all the gripes.
Yeah. Okay.
Deadpool runs the fuck away and tries to revive the Wolverine because that's what he needs to do. Then there's this weird scene where he's kills a bunch of time cops.
Yep, in a brutal, fantastic fashion.
And then he steals a button to travel the multiverse and decides to kidnap a Wolverine, which may or may not be the anchor of this other universe, by the way. That's never addressed.
Yeah, that's a good point. I never thought about that. So he might be just like killing that other universe.
Yeah.
That universe's anchor being. But, here in defense of the movie, Deadpool is not a good guy.
That's true. So, he goes and Deadpools, and by that I mean rather than actively explaining his situation to these people, he just insults them for a while.
Well, I mean, look at my Short King Wolverine, the comic book accurate Wolverine.
Yeah, actually, the worst part is I really wanted him to be the Wolverine.
I would have loved that. Here's the thing. All of these are just sight gags, right? References, sight gags, and it doesn't have to make sense because it's just a reference. It doesn't have to be like a part of the plot at all. It's just like something you can go and say, oh, that's the Wolverine from X-22 comic, blah, 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 and that's it.
Yes. Now, that was weird from Kevin because he's normally that guy.
I am not normally that guy. No, I'm not. Don't give me a look that the camera can't see because we don't have one. So we couldn't afford one. Sorry.
So Kevin doesn't know himself. But
whatever. You get on more. Whatever. All right, go on.
So, traveling the multiverse, he finds Crucified Wolverine and Short Wolverine and a few other until he finds Shitty Wolverine.
And this is the TVA saying this: the worst Wolverine, out of every single universe, this is the worst Wolverine.
Why? Because he got drunk instead of defending the X-Men.
Well, I mean, they go into it more of why he's like the worst Wolverine.
Yeah, but that's the gist of it.
Basically, yes. So, I mean, okay. So, they go into this later with Moira, which is a different character that reads his mind and goes into like how he just like started killing everybody.
Yeah, which is kind of, he got drunk, everyone died, so he went on a ironically Deadpool-esque vengeance plot.
Yeah, basically, actually. But
though I probably watched that movie way more.
Me too. It's out of all like the Wolverine movies, I think he has at least that one time where he's like, I've got nothing left. I gotta go kill. Yeah, I'm an animal.
That is kind of half of Wolverine's character.
Yeah, basically, yeah. He's the Wolverine. That is.
So he kidnaps the shitty Wolverine, brings him back to the SCP Foundation, and gets laughed at, and then they get dumped into
the void,
which is all of the movie IPs that Disney decided not to revive because they kind of sucked.
Yeah, you find a lot of shitty things in the void.
Now, I'll give them credit. There was a couple of good gags in this.
Yeah.
Not a good plot, but it happens. They go through and they meet. What's the actor's name?
Chris Evans.
Chris Evans, who Deadpool gets really excited to hear say, "Avengers Assemble," but he doesn't say that.
No. This is a different Chris Evans. This is the Fantastic Four Chris Evans,
which was a bad movie.
Definitely. But it would be, it would be really cool, Ted. Let me put a premise out to you here. Let's have like the old Chris Evans from like the Fantastic Four, like Johnny Flame, and then he does some like awesome stuff inside the movie. He can be like a pivotal character, and he can like add so much. And no,
yeah, they killed him off almost immediately when they go to the Mad Max compound that's run by Professor Xavier's
sister,
who he doesn't know about.
No.
Also, they're sacrificing things to some sort of ancient Egyptian god.
Oh, that's the TVA. Okay, so I know it doesn't matter. None of this matters. I know.
Let's say, Kevin, you can explain anything that happens in the movie, not outside the movie.
Okay, so it's a giant purple fart dragon.
Yeah, is that a dragon?
It's like a dragon.
Okay.
It looks like a dragon to me.
For some reason, I was thinking the sand face from the Mummy.
Ooh, I would have much preferred that.
Yeah.
Emotep. Emotep. I would have much preferred
They
that.
should have just put a bunch of other like dead IPs in there. Just have the Mummy.
Oh, that'd be great. Yeah, Tom Cruise is the Mummy.
Just throw in every bad movie. Have Aragon come flying over.
Ooh, Aragon. We could do that really crappy. Oh my god, it's like this book series with like unfortunate events.
Oh god, it was awful.
Yeah, it was so bad.
Just have the original Percy Jackson actors.
Ooh, yes. Okay. And do like I don't know, and then the last season of Game of Thrones.
Yeah, just have all that. But no, it's limited. So they managed to escape and they run around the void for a while. Of course, the Human Torch dies hilariously, and by that I mean grotesquely.
Yeah, he gets all his skin ripped off in a brutal, grotesque fashion, and he blinks and just falls apart. So great stuff.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
After Deadpool like kills him, basically.
Yeah, Deadpool goes on this whole thing of, didn't you say she's a? And then there's a string of profanity which I don't remember.
No, it was like long and it was cringy, and I don't want to repeat it.
Yeah, I couldn't remember if I did. So
Yeah.
they get away and they go through some like cornfields and shit.
Yeah, the void is surprisingly, vast and has like a lot of stuff going on in it. It's like I don't even know how it has a sun.
Yeah,
but
that's a great question. Also, it shows like an endless desert at first, and they don't.
Yeah. I mean, okay, so everything in the void is just like stuff that's zapped and then sent to the void because like those stun sticks that he got hit by, right?
Who zapped the forest?
Who zapped the gas station?
Yeah, I can. There's more situations where actually, I guess. Okay, assuming that a lot of these SCP people, and yes, I know that's not what they are, but I'm going to keep calling them that.
I prefer it. I wish it was that.
Are corrupt. Maybe like a guy's just going around. He bought a bunch of property in Universe Prime. It's just clear he gets for development, and rather than
like do anything else, it's like zap.
I mean, it's way cheaper than getting someone to actually clear the land.
Yeah, I mean, literally, you could use those sticks to end the trash problem just in general. Just like get rid of all your trash forever. They used to have like grenades that just like cleared whole entire timelines.
Huh.
Yeah, and that doesn't make sense for the Ripper thing. But yeah, whatever.
So they go through the void for a little while until eventually they find a Deadpool.
Yeah, and what makes this Deadpool special?
He's a dog.
Yeah, it's a four-legged Deadpool, baby.
That's Dogpool, who then immediately introduces us to the character Kevin thought I was talking about, apparently. Called Nicepool.
Yes.
Who is
Ryan Reynolds.
Ryan Reynolds Deadpool, if he didn't have superpowers and none of that shit happened to him and instead decided to become Mormon?
I'd say that, or just like Canadian.
Yeah, so it's just honestly, Canadians, but I actually, I don't think a Mormon Deadpool would be presented that positively as a character in Hollywood.
No, definitely not.
So yeah, let's go Canadian, because I feel like there would have been at least a few like.
He'd be wearing like magic underpants over his Deadpool costume.
Yeah,
if that was the case.
They would have been meaner about it.
Yeah, definitely.
So yeah,
Mitt Romney would have been brought up or something.
Yeah. So, Nicepool then tells them that there's a bunch of Deadpools around here, but there is the Resistance, and lends him his car.
And I don't remember the brand of the car, but it's a crappy car. It's a Toyota, whatever.
That was a Honda Odyssey.
Ah, yes, Honda Odyssey. Thank you.
Which I'm pretty sure is a reference to a podcast I listened to.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah, because there's a sentient Honda Odyssey in the podcast Dungeons and Daddies.
Okay,
and now that's an excellent podcast. Go listen to that, not us.
Yeah, it's much better than ours.
But,
much more like reliable as well.
And they're like actual like professional writers and shit. But that's about a bunch of fathers trying to rescue their sons after they all get sucked into the Forgotten Realms.
Yes, and Honda Odyssey, eh? All right, fantastic.
Odyssey song. Because they have to whisper unique compliments into it to fuel it.
Oh, I like that a lot. Okay.
And only one person speaks Japanese.
Oh, fantastic.
Yeah.
Okay. That's such a better idea than what they do with the Odyssey in this movie.
Yeah. Well, they fight in it, and it's probably
Well,
the best fight scene.
well, before we get into that,
Mhm.
there's like a lead up into there where him and Wolverine are trying to. Oh, okay. First off, Wolverine has no interest in Deadpool whatsoever.
No, near do we.
Yes, much like the audience, but um, well, certain select groups of the audience, I guess. Anyway, so Wolverine has no interest in this, but Deadpool says that the TVA, the SCP, can try and like save his timeline because his timeline is totally screwed up. There's nothing going on. It's doomed. Blah 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 blah. And he joins up with Deadpool because of the promise that Deadpool can have an idea how to save his timeline. They get to know each other better. They explain a bunch of stuff. Blah, blah, blah.
Turns out Deadpool's full of shit and doesn't know they can do that.
Yeah, it was. It wasn't a. It wasn't a promise.
Hopeful wish.
It was. Yeah, it was like a
thoughtful wish.
A hopeful. Yeah, a hopeful wish or a hopeful idea. It's.
It was something like that. It wasn't.
Yeah, and then Wolverine just like tears into Deadpool as a person.
Which respect.
I mean,
Hugh Jackman is the best actor in this movie.
Yeah, if we want to, okay, like we talked about this like right after like seeing it, like and then the big thing while we're driving inside your car was that okay, best part of this movie, Hugh Jackman,
Yeah, Hugh Jackman, and this fight seems pretty good too, if for no other reason than it is
unique.
Unique, and it's sort of it reminds me of a lot of '80s fight scenes. Like, have you ever seen They Live?
Yeah, I love They Live.
All right, the main character and best supporting main character. I don't remember either names.
One was like a wrestler. I think it was like Roddy Piper, and the other one was I think the guy from The Thing. I think yeah, he does a lot of voice work.
Put
now.
on the glasses, no, and there's just a giant fight.
Oh, it's so long, but it's so great.
And it's over a very petty reason.
Yeah, he just doesn't want to wear the glasses,
and there isn't a really good reason given either. And I feel like this, in the best possible way, is just an '80s fight scene that is pretty well done.
Well, it makes use of like their healing factor pretty well, and also just like Deadpool's weapons, Wolverine's claws. There's a lot of stuff going on with this fight scene that is played up pretty well, especially it's inside like a really crappy car.
Yes, and having fought both of them in hero clicks, I can tell you those are the most annoying things to fight against.
Mm-hmm. I mean, I think fighting against the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles with their coin abilities would also be a little.
Yeah, the fact I'm not going to go into the full thing, but the fact that we were both playing teams that functionally were immortal made it a very long and grindy game.
Shout out to you, Adam.
Yep. He's not listening to this. He's not a furry.
God damn it.
I know my audience.
I know you do. I know you do.
I know most of you personally.
God damn it. All right.
So anyways, Kevin being reminded of that.
You know what? That's fine. You know, the foundation's built on. It's got to be built on something. That's fine.
They find it so funny.
All right. Fight was good.
Yeah, fight
inside the car was good, and then they eventually get tuckered out because they keep on killing each other over and over again.
Yeah, fighting's exhausting, and then they I don't remember get caught by the Resistance.
No, so while they're sleeping inside the car, X-23, and this is also, I believe, this is the Fox's World's X-23 that knew Logan. So
yeah,
the girl from the Logan movie.
I think it's from a different universe than that universe, but it's the same fundamental character. And it's the same actors.
I don't think so because she talks about Logan and acts as if she knows Logan.
Oh, okay. Oh, well, in that case, I'm sorry she got dumped in this place.
I mean, well, this is also part of the thing where it's like member berries and, you know, we can't have the real Logan, so let's go with like this crappy Logan. But there's like the X-23 from the Logan universe.
Yeah, so we get that person and they go to the Resistant hideout, and we get characters that I have radically different reactions to.
That's a generous thing to say, characters there, man.
We get people.
We get props. They're prop pieces.
Now, okay, so first off, the one that people seemed excited for in a way I wasn't fully aware of, Gambit.
Yeah, and in case you didn't know, this isn't like a Gambit that was in the Fox universe whatsoever. This was a Gambit that was played by Channing Tatum that was talked about for years about like there being a Gambit movie, but eventually he got his little side piece in this movie, I guess.
And apparently, Gambit's supposed to be Cajun.
Yeah, he's Cajun. If you ever seen like any of the old like Fox cartoons or anything like that, then that was a big thing. His Cajun accent.
I remember shocking a little about those. I don't think I liked them, and I was never a big superhero guy, and
Right,
I
right, right.
don't think I really cared about them even as a kid.
Yeah.
But I remember watching quite a few episodes and enjoying them. So as far as I don't, like, but
Uh,
that's neither here nor there.
Yeah, that's not either, but that's our first character. And how would you rate? Because you probably have interacted more with Cajun accents than I have, with like Louisiana.
Yeah,
How would you rate his accent
5.
out of like 10?
Yeah,
Okay.
it sounds like
Yeah,
someone doing a Cajun accent that has at least tried,
yeah, I'll give him that. He tried.
and he's definitely heard a Cajun accent.
Yes. Um, Dialogue wise, I think this movie's writing is crap.
Yes, and now to an extent, I think the actor in this one
Mm.
for Gambit, who'd you say it was,
Channing Tatum.
did a pretty good job playing that up as I'm not even a real person and kind of acting like it in a fairly convincing way. Or
I
if
never got my shot, Morty.
he did play a character who seemed to be confused about his own existence fairly well.
Yeah, I would say so.
Then we have Elektra.
Yeah, Elektra from okay. So the original like Daredevil had Elektra in it. Then they had like a spin-off movie that was just Elektra. That movie is god awful, but she's back, baby.
I can't believe that anyone made a second Daredevil movie after how bad that first one was.
I don't know the like because it doesn't matter how good the movie is, right? It only matters about like box office. That's the most
Sure.
important thing.
Uh, yeah, I guess. But I saw with my parents. We all walked out there going,
Mm,
that was to the point where years later, when I watched the first season of the Daredevil show, which I
yeah.
haven't watched anymore. People told me it goes downhill. I believe them mostly. But I thoroughly enjoyed the first season.
Yeah.
And when I told my parents how much I enjoyed that, they're like, "Wow, I'm surprised you gave that character a
Another
second
shot.
chance,
Yeah.
because we wouldn't." And my actual answer was, "It took a lot of convincing."
Yeah, I mean, that's what's like so tough about. I think like getting into like certain genres of like film or anything else like that. If you have a bad experience with a certain like superhero movie like character, then it's like you have to climb over this hill that was already put there because the first one was so bad, and then you have to try to get into this new thing, giving it the benefit of the doubt.
I mean, it took me 3 times reading them to get into the Dresden Files books,
Mm-hmm.
because the first 2 are just awful. Well, I can't say it. The first one is meh.
Yeah.
The second one is just awful. And then the third one is actually really compelling.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't have this problem. Let's say like the Game of Thrones books because I like the first one.
I
I
actually
like
thought the first one was great.
yeah, and it that really makes me wonder just like how many chances or how many books should you read or should have to read in order to give something a chance, and whether it's not like just the setting itself is interesting enough for you to kind of go like, not so great, but I want to give it another shot.
Yeah, that's why you ask for recommendations.
Yeah, that's a big thing.
Yeah.
Word of mouth is a big thing, Zach.
And the last character, who was the one I was most excited to see because I didn't know he was in this, Blade,
Yeah, Blade.
who,
Some mother effer's always trying to ice skate uphill.
I'm not going to lie, this was the one time I felt the fan service work on me.
I mean, considering I haven't seen Blade since the third terrible movie with which Ryan Reynolds was in.
Oh, I don't remember. Well, I never paid attention to actors ever. But I've seen the first one more recently than that.
I love the first one.
Yeah, I read some of the comics.
Yeah.
Um,
He was in the Spider-Man TV show too, which is pretty cool.
and I'm a very big fan of Blade. And I was very happy to see that actor. And
After his like third time not paying his taxes, he's back, baby.
So, anyways, Deadpool convinces them to do a suicidal charge to save his universe.
Yeah, and
They have to get.
Yeah.
So we did mention this earlier. While Professor Y chromosome, whatever her name is,
that's fine. Professor Y chromosome. That's fine.
Professor Y, most of her minions are X-Men characters. It doesn't seem to matter if they're in the Brotherhood of Mutants or the X-Men. I think I saw Toad.
Well, yeah.
And Juggernaut.
Well, so you had the when they first got picked up, you had the original Sabretooth that was from like the first X-Men movie, and he gets killed unceremoniously by getting sliced his head off by Wolverine. You have Toad.
Actually, we should go to that. That actually was kind of ceremoniously.
Yeah.
That was a flat out samurai duel they had going on, and it was hyped up to be a kind of a cool moment, and it was. Ironically, not that if it was a bit more of a build up, that actual ending would have been really cool.
Yeah, or like I don't know, like let's have him beat down Logan, and then he fights him at the complex later, and he cuts his head off.
But it wasn't. Yeah, it should have ironically been the fight with Deadpool and Wolverine, where it just went on for a while, and it was just two immortals, except this time one dies.
Yeah, that would have been cooler.
But it was supposed to be a samurai showdown, but one of the characters was introduced like 30 seconds before, so it wasn't that interesting.
Yeah, and to keep going, you have Juggernaut.
Yep, and the Professor Y's powers are very strong, but Juggernaut's helmet can prevent them from happening.
Yes, so Juggernaut's helmet can suppress mutant abilities. That's part of the reason why he wears it, because it suppresses his abilities and then makes him able to do what he's doing.
What's his ability?
I don't know enough about Juggernaut to get into that, so I think it's just without his helmet on, he I think hell goes on because he's like so strong or whatever. So I have no idea, but it's like Magneto's helmet but different.
Okay, sure. I can't argue or make commentary.
we both don't know enough about comics to go into that.
So they go in the suicidal attack on the Mad Max compound with Professor Y.
There is a touching scene between X-23 and Logan before that. So there is a scene where him and her have like a talk-out session by a camp.
Yeah, not sure it was touching, but okay. It was tried to be.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, Hugh Jackman, great actor.
Hugh Jackman does his damnedest with the material he's given. Hope he got a good paycheck.
Well, I mean, and they make this joke throughout the whole entire time, but he's going to be doing these films until he's 90. Yeah, I mean, we all hope that, but, you know, Disney money talks, man. Speaking of which.
Disney money talks? What are you talking about? That wasn't Disney money, man. That was our money. we were part of the problem. We could have pirated this.
So I'll take a staunch stance against ever pirating anything, personally.
Oh.
But do what you will. If it's on while I'm in the room, I'm not going to say anything.
It's not very staunch.
I won't personally pirate anything, but
you will enjoy the labors of other people pirating.
Yeah. I think I.
Okay.
Well, yeah. Let's not get off tangent.
I'm not drunk enough for this.
All right. Let's get some more.
No, I got 2 drunk last night.
Fair enough.
So they do a suicidal attack against a bunch of X-Men villains, and they're winning and losing, and Kevin, I think I repressed the scene or something. I remember at the end, the side characters manage to get the helmet off
of Juggernaut.
Not give it to Deadpool because Professor Y chromosome is currently finger fucking his brain.
Yeah, we didn't say this earlier, but the way she reads minds is more intimate than Professor Xavier.
Yeah,
Professor X.
Professor X chromosome.
Yeah. So she has to put her hand into your brain, basically, and then she fingers Wolverine. And while he's getting fingered, he's like, feeling a bunch of stuff he's probably never felt before.
Like solitude and prostate simulation.
Finding that spot. And then while that's happening, Deadpool manages to get the helmet on top of her head while she's distracted, and they manage to take her down. But Ted, there's a conundrum with the situation. They need her in order for them to leave the void.
That's right, because it's her psychic powers.
Yes, but as soon as they take off the helmet, she's just going to rip their skin off and kill them.
But don't worry. An SCP agent comes up. Oh, sorry, no. A mutant that was ordered by an SCP agent.
Which is like Havoc. And by the way, the SCP agent that's the main villain of this is Mr. Paradox?
Sure.
Okay. Dr. Paradox?
Paradox.
Paradox. That's fine.
I think it's just Paradox. I actually think that's what he's called.
Yes. He tells, I believe it's Havoc, and he's from X-Men First Class, or not. God, I forget what he's from. He's like from one of the X-Men movies, the Fox movies. And he betrays Professor Y chromosome and shoots her in like the chest. By the way, not the head. Not while she has like the helmet on or something like that. Just like shoots her in the face and then she'll die. But in the chest.
I mean, he might just have bad aim and was going for that.
I guess. I mean,
Kevin, shooting things is not easy.
No, I know that. I know that the accuracy with like handguns is not great. Which why you have to be like a certain range in order to even like make a definitive shot, and why they tell you to shoot for the chest. But anyway, they shoot her in the chest. She's dying. She's going to die. And before, by the way, Logan just says like, "Well, I'm just gonna kill you anyway. Let's just kill you. That's fine. I'll let myself die in the void, I guess." And then she gets shot in the chest, and he's like, "Okay, take the helmet off. We gotta save her."
Yo, I didn't realize that.
We're just like flipping entirely. Charles would have wanted to save her. It's his sister. What up?
The worst part is, I think Charles would. I mean, no, I don't know enough about Charles Xavier to actually make a point. So maybe I should just shut up.
He probably would want to save her, but
yeah,
at the same time too, she's a monster that wears people's skin.
As every other human, and for that matter, every other person
in like this film.
In general.
Yeah.
Let's not pretend Xavier isn't more or less a paladin.
Yeah, lawful good is the best way to describe it.
Yeah, like so he would probably like, I don't want her to die. You softy sister. What? No, she's just a person.
Yeah. It wouldn't family wise it wouldn't matter. It's just like she's a person, and then blah 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 blah. But so they take the helmet off of her. She doesn't immediately kill them
because she's so angry about the SCP betraying her.
And like I think she was touched by the fact that Logan said, "If Charles knew that you were alive, he would have spent his whole life trying to get you back."
I mean, and I don't know if that's true because he had other things going on. But still,
well, yeah, like learning how to walk again, things like that. But yeah, there's a lot to go off of. And she's killed like multiple Xaviers at this point anyway.
Yeah, it's kind of fucked up the more I think about it.
Yeah, she comes in on his wheelchair.
Oh, that's right.
And that's where you get what ableist joke from Deadpool.
Oh yeah.
Can we talk about the comedy in this film really quick?
And that was a discussion of the comedy.
Yeah, that's about right. How many times would you say you laughed at this film?
12.
12 times. I'd probably go half that, 6 for myself. I don't know. I felt like the comedy in this film was very lackluster.
Yeah, I agree. I enjoyed. I got a lot of good giggles. I'll admit that.
I like the blood over the coexist sign. I think that was fine. That was like a little bit funny. And then I know you like Dogpool. So
not as much as you think. I actually was very disappointed in Dogpool.
No, not Dogpool.
No, we're getting to now. That's a useless character that could have just been cut. Anyways, so the B.
That's most of the characters in this movie, Ted.
So B Squad dies. So A Squad, Deadpool and Wolverine can get the fuck out of this dimension. And
well, they don't definitively die, but
they probably die.
Yeah.
And now they're back in Dimension, not Fox.
Well, Dimension Fox. It's Fox.
And they're whatever dimension that's doomed out of Wolverine. And now Professor Y chromosome comes up, and it's like, cool. Hey, did you know that those SCP guys are going to destroy the universe? It's like, yes. Cool, I'm going to do it now and then bring the machine to destroy all the universes.
So there's nothing.
Ha.
So there's nothing left but the void.
So, obviously, Deadpool and Wolverine aren't a big fan of this.
No, neither is anybody else, but yeah.
So, how else are you going to have them fight, or be slowed down, I should say, except by a group of Deadpools?
The mercenary for hire, Deadpools.
Now, this is where a lot of the Deadpool variants that I've been unfortunately exposed to at different conventions show up.
Which one's your favorite, Ted? Mine's Asian-inspired Deadpool.
Oh, like the samurai one?
I like the samurai one. I like Western. You know what?
I think Western's probably mine, but
I like Welsh.
I didn't even notice the Welsh one.
Oh yeah, he had like the dragon on his chest and everything.
And there's a weird flying head.
Yeah, I had no idea where that's from. So it's like a skull that has like I think it's like one of those propeller hats.
Yeah, and I'm assuming that's a Deadpool too.
Probably. I don't know. I'm not seeing a Deadpool 2. I don't know.
So they're all there, and don't worry, 2 Deadpools are going to change sides and help them. Nice Pool and Dogpool. Dogpool does nothing.
Well, to be fair, Ted, right? Wolverine uses him as a human shield. Sorry, a meat shield, so he can go to the other side and talk to Deadpool that kills Nice Pool inadvertently. He kills Deadpool or Nice Pool.
Yeah. So
uses him as a human shield.
And then when he finds out he doesn't have a healing factor, and then make sure he dies, I think.
Oh, it's also to steal his dog.
Oh, yeah.
Dogpool is his dog.
Yeah, so that happens, and then they do this is one of the nicer points in the movie, a Deadpool killing montage. Because who doesn't like watching less Deadpools exist?
Here's the thing. I like the continuous shot of like them going through like the bus, and then there's good aspects of this film that are solely related to how it looks and how some of the stuff with, like, let's say the Wolverine costume, for example, because that's a big thing everyone likes, is Wolverine wearing the yellow and blue.
Oh, that's right, and he puts on the Wolverine mask, which I never realized how bad it looks up until this point. And the movie actually makes a point to mention how badass it is, and my only thought was, why did you draw my attention to
how bad it looks?
Yeah. It's like, don't lie to me.
I kind of would prefer the yellow and brown one, honestly. Yeah.
6 1/2 a dozen. I'm not that.
Yeah. Well, do you mean just like bad aesthetically it looks?
I don't think the mask looked good. I don't.
Well, the eyes are a little bit off, and then
it. I can imagine buying that sweater with that quality at Hot Topic.
Yeah. I could imagine that being at. It probably is at Hot Topic right now, like while we're talking.
Of equal quality to that of the film. It just didn't. It looked like a ripoff of itself.
Yeah, like, have you seen better ones at, like, Anime Expo or like Anime Boston or whatever?
Yes.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Okay.
But so this entire time I had one thought. It's like, because we just watched Nice Pool die. My only thought during this one was, I'm guessing all the other Deadpools either don't have a healing factor, or this is going to end with them turning around and all of them standing up again.
Yeah, and
what if this happens?
Yeah, well, yeah. They all stand back up again. Every one of them has a healing factor except for Nice Pool. Oops. But going from there, what saves the day, Ted? Who saves the day?
I don't even remember his name. Paul, Ron, Sanchez. Random character number 23 from the second movie, I think.
He's from the second movie. I believe his name is
Francis.
I
know it's not.
Yeah.
I want to say it's Paul.
Let's look that up. Let's
probably not Paul.
Probably not Paul. Peter.
Peter.
That's his name. It was there we go. And yeah, there he is.
So Peter apparently was in the second one.
Well, he has type 2 diabetes.
Doesn't he have type 1 as well?
Yeah, it's like twice the superpower. That's why he's on the team, dude.
Okay, yeah. Haven't seen that movie. Seen a couple clips. He shows up because he's still Deadpool's friends, and all the Deadpools really like Peter. So they
Every universe has every multiverse apparently has like a Peter to their Deadpools.
Every multiverse with a Deadpool has a
Peter.
or possibly vice versa.
Or a Paul.
Yeah. I must be, yeah. So all of the Deadpools must have a Peter. Whether or not Peters all have Deadpools is a different question.
Yeah, I mean, he could just be slinging cars just by himself.
Yeah, that makes it sad. But he shows up, and all the Deadpools drop what they're doing to just kind of celebrate the fact that this man exists.
Yeah, I mean, like, he's their life. He's their best friend. Everyone loves a Peter.
So
You know how there's like a kid Deadpool?
Dead Kid?
Kid Dead?
Kidpool?
Kidpool's probably better.
Kidpool's probably what they're actually called.
I don't doubt that. Like, everything is end with pool, so that's fine.
That must be really, like, there's got to be some weird, I can't think of it off the top of my head, but it's like, butt pool,
Just like a giant ass.
Yeah.
Penis pool.
Sports pool.
Sports pool.
I'm betting pool.
I do you think like the kid pool has a kid Peter, or is it just adult Peter who's friends with a kid pool, which is really weird? You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's a great question. Well, apparently it's an adult Peter because he recognized them.
Yeah, I mean maybe kid Peter has type 2 diabetes too. Who's to say?
Well, okay, maybe like in that, like if assuming that it has good writing, maybe like Kid Pool's like babysitter is
Peter.
And Peter kind of has a mentor role. It's like, mom's out working her third job. Then Peter comes over and helps him fight crime. That would actually be an okay storyline. That
See, here's the problem with this movie, Ted. There's a lot of potential.
Yeah.
But none of it's filled out.
And then we hear Reynolds talk about how bad the multiverse is while in a multiverse plot.
Yeah, that's the ultimate, like, we know you don't like this, but we're doing it anyway. It's going to be fun, guys. It's Disney.
This is interesting, because you were defending Disney a lot earlier.
I've come to get more sour over time, I think. But...
Okay. Because I'm about to say, because I would, well, I don't want to, this was going to sound harsher towards you than I think it's meant to be. Because I would think that there isn't a substantial difference between the last few years of Disney and any of the early Marvel.
I disagree. I think the writing was better in Iron Man compared to this.
Oh God, no! I watched that fairly recently.
I disagree.
Yeah.
Have fun fighting in the comments. I'm sure Ted will win with his furry army.
Oh wait, so they're closer to Iron Man. They have the suits.
All right.
Hashtag roar.
Ew, no.
So, anyways, then they go find the universe bomb, and I think they stop Professor Y chromosome.
They definitely do. Otherwise, the movie wouldn't have a good ending, Dad.
But it's too late because they have to go and do the Guardians of the Galaxy 1 thing where.
Oh yeah.
So there's an antimatter and a matter vent, and they're.
So the matter vent just filled with like matter.
Yeah, and apparently they're pumping into the paradox MacGuffin, and that's going to destroy this universe
and every universe.
One at a time, I guess.
Yeah, basically.
So Wolverine wants to go in and sacrifice himself, and then
a la Logan,
and it's two big pipes, and that are filled with the charged matter and antimatter, and I expected him to, the kids might call it T-pose, but I was going to say stand cruciform. Extend his claws into each one of them and sacrifice himself that way.
Yeah, and then you don't have any more Wolverine in these Marvel movies anymore, and then you get to have the same death arc as you had in Logan, basically.
And unfortunately, it doesn't happen. Now, to be credit, this wasn't a bad scene. This wasn't optimal because Deadpool comes in after. Sorry, yeah, Wolverine breaks in after being kicked out by Deadpool, and they do the Guardians of the Galaxy thing where both of them get this, and they
Just link hands, basically.
yeah, they link hands, and both of them take half the charge, and apparently that's fine. And then Professor Y chromosome's dead or gone. I don't even remember.
She got flumed out of existence by matter / antimatter / whatever.
Oh yes, during the scene. So she gets put to the real void this time.
Probably hell. I think she'd probably go to hell.
Yeah. Is hell a dimension in the multiverse?
The devil exists, so yes.
So she could destroy hell.
Yeah, I guess. Yeah.
That's terrifying.
Cold day in hell, man.
Yeah. And then Paradox comes in, and so does his boss. And the boss arrests him. And apparently this Logan's now cool enough that he's now the anchor. So this universe is going to exist for probably another 20 years because...
You know why that is?
No.
Fantastic Four movie is going to be coming out, and it's probably going to be set in a weird version of this universe. Why not?
Okay, all right. And then Logan's about to wander into the sunset, and Deadpool invites him to a birthday party or whatever. The end. After credits scene, we see the Human Torch say that monologue about Professor Y chromosome.
And we leave the theater, and we feel nothing.
Now, Kevin, I actually kind of wish I broke my own rules and talked during this movie. Because well, there was too many people to make full conversation. Because very early on in the movie, I was thinking of going to Whisper and going, "Hey, Kevin.
Yeah?
You want to go and see if we can sneak into Borderlands?"
Ooh.
Now, here's the thing.
Okay.
I actually think Borderlands is probably a worse movie.
Yeah, probably.
But I feel like it's at the exact level of badness where I can have fun with it and laugh.
Yeah, and well, okay. There's also probably the thing nobody being in there but us.
Yeah, so we could just roast it the entire time.
Oh, we can still do that.
Yeah, probably. I don't know. I've tried to do it with some other movies before, and then end up seeing the Samson movie with two guys.
Oh wow, fantastic.
Yeah. So Kevin, what do you give this movie?
Okay. I'll give this 10 used coffee grounds out of 30.
That's okay. That's higher than I thought, actually. That's a 3 out of 10.
Let's say 3 out of 10. Yeah.
Oh no, we'll stick to yours. I'm gonna bring it down to 6, 7 out of 30.
All right. You know what? Fantastic. I would not recommend this movie. I hate it.
No, absolutely not. Never gonna. Now, this has been a remarkably divisive topic everywhere as I go.
Yeah, specifically with like I've only talked to you about it, and then also our two mutual friends we play D&D with, and not really much of anyone else. 2 other friends I know would probably hate this movie as well.
There seems to be interestingly enough, the more you like superheroes, the more you seem to like this film.
I think I'd probably agree with that. Okay, to be fully honest here, I have not seen a superhero movie since this. Last one I saw was like Endgame, and that was about it.
Yeah. I have probably seen one, but I went back and watched some of the earlier Marvel ones that I missed, so it doesn't. I'm not sure it counts. But like, I had seen Iron Man 2, which is just Atlas Shrugged.
Yeah, actually, yeah. You know what? That's accurate. Missile. Yeah. I mean, this is a little bit tough because we don't like the movie, and this is going into a fan base that has either disliked like the last 10 years of these movies coming out, and then we have not really partaken in that as much.
Now, I can say I have the exact same feelings about this movie as I did with the original Deadpool.
So that's where the differences between you and I kind of go on that because I like the original Deadpool. I do not like this. I feel like the cocaine having Deadpool is not the same Deadpool that's in this as was in the first movie.
Well, no, he's had plot development.
You say plot development, but I say like weird contrived writing. It seems like this Deadpool is not really a character.
I would argue he wasn't a consistent character in the first one either.
The relationship between him and his like girlfriend is more fleshed out than it is in this.
Yeah, but I still think his relationship in Wolverine with this one is more interesting than that entire relationship.
I mean, is that because Wolverine is a more established character than his girlfriend is? Because you know Wolverine a lot better?
I don't know Wolverine that much better.
Compared to like Logan or something else like that, you know Wolverine better than you do her.
Yeah, I know, but also, I don't think Logan as a character or the Wolverine as the character is that fleshed out in this movie.
No, not really. It's relying on you knowing previous Wolverines basically in order to make this movie work.
Yeah, and I don't think I know one Wolverine from one movie, and him as a character doesn't get that much, but I find the how do I put this? Two reluctant heroes in different ways.
Yeah, that's yeah.
I mean, well, yes, and then I don't. The fact that they have similar power sets helps, and they're both just a little bit off being a hero.
Anti-hero.
Deadpool definitely.
Wolverine less so.
Wolverine is okay. Wolverine, and actually, this is probably my main complaint about Logan.
Okay.
Is kind of the archetypical reluctant hero.
Yes.
And
yes.
in Logan, it gets played a little, though. At least old man who has seen all his work kind of go to shit. Makes a little bit more sense on why reluctance is back.
Yeah, I mean, aged Logan in Logan, aged Wolverine in Logan works very well because he's just tired. He's done with it. He doesn't want to do it anymore.
Yeah, and also
he acts like he's
and he can't do it as much because
his body is dying. Yeah. He's dying,
and he has weird responsibilities now because Professor X has absolutely had a breakdown and killed all his own students.
Yeah, I forget if they said it was like a brain aneurysm or just like it's just accidentally just killed everybody, which is so dark. I love that movie.
Yeah, no. So now I have a kind of a problem. I have to find an RPG to pair with this.
Ooh, yeah, that is an issue.
And we already did Nightbane.
What's the name of that RPG that the Adventure Brothers did, like their dad ran?
Fate.
Was it Fate, or is it just like a sample of Fate with them being superheroes?
Yeah, but that's all that was I have right now. That was Fate Accelerated. Well, we
oh, okay. I never listened to it. I just know they went to like a superhero arc, and I was like, not interested.
Yeah. I am going to. I think I know what I'm going to do. So we'll find out next week where Kevin has to find out why comedy games are bad.
Fantastic. Okay.
Yep. I'll give you this one. Modern RPG writing has increased because modern comedy games are made to be one-shots.
Okay. Yeah. You know, brevity is the soul of wit, Ted.
Yeah. I mean, well, Business Wizards, for example. You can run that as a campaign. It might even be funny. We haven't.
No. No, we haven't. We had some. God, I do love the Business Wizards we played while doing it, like the sake distillery.
Yep. I thoroughly enjoyed that as well. I got to play a football wizard.
Yes. Ah, man.
But you know what's really bad?
What?
300-page rule books. About comedy games.
Yeah. You know what? This is going to be fun.
No, it's not. We'll talk to y'all next time.
All right.
See you again in 2 years.
See you again in 2 years. Later, everybody.